there's a cardinal?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool. Scratch.
Okay, now that Kitty's pretty much settled, we can do this now.
Yeah.
So hey, what's up?
Hi guys.
It's Thursday night. Oh, yeah, Michael.
Sugar.
Hey, Shuggy! It's Thursday night, so you know what that means.
Midnight Madness. And what did we see today? Today was a special one.
We took a trip to see. I don't know where the hell that country was.
It started in Istanbul.
Yeah.
Is where they left out of.
And we went on a trip on the Orient Express.
Yes.
A very fancy ass train with the peak of luxury for trains at the time.
And a murder.
And a murder. So even the cat's like just so itchy. It's just itchy just thinking about it.
We went to go see Murder on the Orient Express tonight, which I have been looking forward to for quite a while.
I've been looking forward to it ever since I first saw the first commercial and our trailer for it. And I've been curious this whole time as to who the murderer was. And since I had never read the book or seen the original one from like the 60s or whatever it was, I had no idea. So I was like, yay, I don't have to I can just watch and try to figure it out instead of watching and figuring out how they're going to pull it off when you find out who is the actual murderer.
Ben, were you shocked?
I was quite shocked as to who it was. Don't worry, we're not going to put spoilers. But spoiler alert, it was... Oh, now that the collective internet has beat me up, even though I said spoiler.
Yeah.
Wow. But yes, it was quite shocking.
Yeah.
Who the murderer ended up being.
It's such an iconic ending to that book, and that's and Agatha Christie wrote a lot of books. She wrote a lot of mysteries. She wrote a lot of books that followed that main character, Hercule Poirot. You know,
It's not Hercules.
it's not.
He
Hercules.
never fought lions.
Yeah. And he is a mainstay in a lot of her books. He is a central character, kind of. He's Sherlock Holmes for that era, you know. Or if you want to go more modern, you could go Spencer. You know, he's a recurring character. He's a very, very distinct character, and she wrote a lot of books centered around that character. This was the most famous out of them. Out of all of them, this one was the most famous. And it's such an iconic ending to this book that I wasn't worried that they were going to change the ending because it's Branagh, because it's Kenneth Branagh directing. I knew that he would stick to the material, you know. I knew that he would. But I was still, I was a little anxious going into it that something was going to be changed. It wasn't. And they pulled the ending off beautifully. I mean, almost,
Haunting.
Yes. Just, oh my gosh. Tearjerker moment. True tearjerker moment.
Because you kind of felt that in that moment that, well, yes, he deserved what he got. He didn't deserve what he got.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I mean, yeah, he did. He he deserved what he got. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to say what he did to deserve what he got, but he deserved what he got.
Mhm.
But it's almost, you almost felt bad for him at the end.
Yeah.
After what happened and how it all played out.
And
apparently we got another kitty cat that wants to join the review.
He even describes it in the ending monologue where he says that this case is one of the least clear-cut and most disturbing cases that he's ever seen. You know, in that sense that he didn't know what to make of it. He kind of, and that's part of the reason why the book is so iconic, because the character of Hercule is so iconic in he's completely black and white. He doesn't know the gray area. And this was the book that made him realize that maybe not everything is so cut and dry. That, as he says, he has to live with the imbalance.
Because he's very OCD.
Yes.
Wow. Very OCD. And that's part of his cut and dry personality. It is what it is or it isn't. So and there's no in between. It's one or the other.
Yeah. Let's talk about the cast, because this cast was insane.
Yeah. So many high profile names and some that I'd never seen before. So it was a good balance and mix. So
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me see. Kenneth Branagh, obviously, main character, also directed. Michelle Pfeiffer, Daisy Ridley, Judi Dench, Penelope Cruz, Johnny Depp, Josh Gad, Leslie Odom Jr., Laura Boynton, Derek Jacobi, Willem Dafoe, and I think those are the main ones. The other ones I just don't know their names, but they're people that you might recognize from other things. Just an outstanding cast. Mm-hmm. Everybody played their part so perfectly in so many ways. I kind of want to talk about Josh Gad for a minute, though, if you don't mind.
Yeah, every person played the character spot on, and it literally, the way they played it and the way that it was written, you really kept guessing all the way up until like the very last moment of who it was. Even when, you know, something happened and you're like, oh, that's who it was, because they just said that it was who it was, and you still don't believe it.
Yeah. Josh Gad was kind of a revelation in this movie, I think. He's somebody that I've seen in some other stuff. He mainly did comedy roles. I was not aware that he had this kind of talent, though. He was really astounding in this movie. In his interview, when Hercule interviewed him, him breaking down in emotion, I really was not expecting such emotion coming from him, because I've only known him in these smaller comedy roles like in Beauty and the Beast, which he was good in, but I mean he wasn't anything big. You know, I'd never seen him in a role that actually required some depth of him, and he was really, really good. Just I mean, he really kind of amazed me in this role. Everybody else, I knew what I was expecting out of them. You know, Michelle Pfeiffer, you know you're going to get quality. Judi Dench, you know you're going to get
a bitch.
Yeah. You know, Johnny Depp, you're going to get quality out of. You know, all these people. You know, even Daisy Ridley, I knew that she was going to do her part very, very well. I see a lot of talent in her, and I think she's really going to have a very long career ahead of her. But I just wasn't.
Of course, it does help that she's in Star Wars.
Yeah.
That does help a little bit.
Yeah. I just wasn't expecting that kind of range and real raw talent coming out of Josh Gad. So it kind of surprised me, but in a very pleasant way. You know, he's somebody that I'm now going to have on my radar. You know, that if he's in something, then it's going to elevate it a little bit for
Yeah.
me. So
I would like to say thank you to whoever wrote the character, what was his name? Johnny Depp's character, I can't think of his name. Ratchet. Yes, I'm glad that he actually played it straight for once and didn't act like a goofball.
oh yeah,
He wasn't all like every other. Well, you know what? Probably what it was is because it was not directed by Tim Burton. There we go. There's your answer. Boom.
or Gordon Urbanski.
Yeah, but it was nice to see him actually play a straight character that's, not all weird and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he was kind of a dick, but
And
well, he was a lot of a dick. But it was nice to see him not have with some kind of shtick.
And he played it really beautifully too. He played it right on the line of everything. You question for probably the first half of the movie. Was he a good guy? Was he a bad guy? He played vulnerable yet confident. He played it right on that line. He was just towing back and forth across that line, for that whole performance, and it really was kind of nice to see. I like this Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this Johnny Depp in a long time.
Long time.
I know he's been in some stuff, but where he wasn't a complete goofball as of recent, but I haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched Black Mass yet, so this was my first incarnation of him as a gangster.
I would like. Well, no, you watched the Dillinger movie, right?
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot. I forgot about Public Enemies.
Yep.
He played that very well. Yeah.
But I'm sorry, we have to talk just briefly about the most epic thing in this movie.
The mustache.
The mustache.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
That it was a mustache that was the mustache to rule all mustaches.
I don't know about that. I would rank it number 2 probably in best mustaches that I've ever seen.
Best
in a movie.
on-screen mustaches.
Yeah, I would say that it beats Kurt Russell's in Tombstone, but it does not beat Sam Elliott's, because nothing will beat Sam Elliott's.
Yeah.
But
They actually talk about that in The Ranch. They actually talk about mustaches and how, I don't remember what the exact line is, but something along the line of Sam Elliott says something like, "Your mustache will never be any good," or something like that. You will never beat my mustache.
No. Oh God. But it is pretty epic. I think that if it was free, then it would have been even more. But he keeps it waxed and weirdly shaped. He doesn't have it flowing. It's stuck on his mouth. I mean, it's waxed down onto his skin. And he slept with a. Did you see the thing?
Yes, that's what I want to talk about. He had his mustache protector.
Yes.
His face mask to protect his mustache. That's someone who has been to the mustachery
Yes.
and owns stock in it.
Yes. I do not know if that mustache was real, but I'm going to guess that it probably was. I'm going to guess that Branagh probably at least grew most of that. I hope.
Because he's a serious actor.
Yeah.
And of course, he's going to, get his mustache right.
Probably took him 2 weeks, be like, yeah, oh, okay, I need a mustache. All right, give me a couple of weeks. There it is.
So, but yeah, that was a nice thing because it just and all this drama that's going on and all this seriousness. Was also great to look at. It's like that's such an epic mustache.
And again, he's known for the mustache. I mean, the character.
Oh, okay.
He's known for the mustache, and he dyes it in the books. Because in the books, he has black hair in the books, if I remember correctly, and he uses boot polish on the mustache to keep his hair colored. Yeah, great incarnation of the character, really great incarnation of the book. Just so fantastic. This will be a day one purchase for me as soon as it comes out.
Visually, it was beautiful. I wish we could have seen it on an XD screen, but Thor is still playing, which is fun because Thor deserves its time on a big screen. But this was definitely. They didn't shoot this in IMAX, did they?
Nope.
Okay, because
I don't think so.
this, like in like true IMAX, this would have been a perfect movie for true IMAX. Because just some of the exterior shots of the train going through the mountains, the storm,
yes.
the snow falling, the avalanche, that just screams to be in IMAX.
Yeah. And it's such a nice contrast too, because all the shots inside the train feel very claustrophobic.
When they were doing the scene between Herc and Johnny Depp. You just said his name, Ratchet. They shot that. It's like I'm wondering, did they actually get on a train and shoot this on a train?
I don't know.
Because it looks, I mean, the way it's shot and the way it looks, everything is. I mean, granted, I know Hollywood is great at shooting movies because that's what they do for a living. But it looked like they were actually on a train.
I think that they actually might have. I don't know. I didn't look that up beforehand, but I think that they actually got on a proper old train that, because there's still a lot of them. Most of them aren't running right now, but they still exist and they can run.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that they actually retrofitted an older train to actually do this. It's probably not an actual train from 1934,
Right. Which is fine, but I mean, I'd like to believe that all the stuff, at least on the interior of the train, because some of the shots, I mean, it looks like it's just like right there, like
especially,
actually on a train.
Especially
the claustrophobia of it.
Anything in one of the hallways or in one of the rooms, and how they shot them being in a room was beautiful, because they would show them walking in and then they would move the camera up and above, and it was shot from a straight down angle.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't really seeing anything. I mean, you were just seeing the top, you were seeing above everything, looking straight down, and it was a really brilliant way to be able to shoot a scene actually in a confined space without shooting it in the confined space.
Yep.
Because there's no way to get a camera in there. That's why I think that it must have, because those rooms were small.
Yeah.
And
so I mean, that some of those shots.
Rooms are small.
Some of those shots like that went over and there's no roof in Herc's room.
Yeah.
That obviously had to be shot on this downstage just the way this was, but I'd like to think the majority of it was actually shot on a train.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to think that do they still run that line? Because that was an actual train line, I believe, right? From Istanbul to
London?
Uh-huh.
I think so, yeah.
And it makes me wonder because I would like to take that trip. I really would. To see all the scenery and going through the mountains and the deserts and stuff like that.
I've always wanted to take a long train ride, but I would have to know that...
You weren't going to get killed?
No. Whatever. You want to try to kill me, come at me. No, I would have to know that I would have to be able to have enough money to get like a first class room, because I need the room. I would need the room. I couldn't do it.
You would have to have a sleeper car.
I would have to have a sleeper car with a decent amount of room, because my claustrophobia would kick in after a day. After 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, nope. But yeah, I would love to do a luxury line like that and just go on a train ride across the country somewhere. That would be awesome. But trains are expensive, and we're broke.
So good movie, excellent movie,
Fantastic movie.
Wrap this up.
Recommend, highly recommend, double highly recommend. Go, just go see the damn movie. Just go, Just go tomorrow. So.
My watch is dead, so whenever you can.
Yeah.
whenever you can. So
All right.